An enriched environment is one way to provide a successful experience for students in the classroom. Whether at home, school, or a therapy-based setting, when the environment is set up to support behavior success, the student has more opportunity to receive reinforcement that will help support desired behaviors. An enriched environment provides appropriate reinforcement early and often to students, while also setting up a consistent routine in which the student knows exactly what to expect. An enriched environment is based on building and maintaining positive and trusting relationships between teachers and students. When relationships are built, a focus on high praise to corrective feedback ratio can go a long way in classroom behavior management. A high praise to corrective feedback ratio means providing verbal praise as often as possible, while using corrective feedback in a limited fashion. This also helps to create a safe and predictable learning environment. Teachers in an enriched environment model practice and positively reinforce students for following classroom rules, routines, and procedures. In the early childhood classroom, this means explicitly teaching rules and routines, providing visual reminders around the room, and consistently following through with reinforcement and verbal praise. Explicit, scaffolded instruction, based on formative assessments, whether formal or informal, will ensure that students know and understand the classroom routines and they're set up for success. To begin to create an enriched environment, it's important to identify preferred items, activities, and reinforcers. Preferred items may be set up around the classroom in a variety of useful ways. For example, imagine a first grade student who required frequent opportunities for movement and access to sensory input. The student was provided with flexible seating, specifically access to a rocking chair. The sensory reinforcement the student received from rocking back and forth allowed him to focus more of his attention on classwork and participating with his peers than prior to this intervention. Another important factor in creating an enriched environment is providing opportunity and direction for being successful in the classroom. Young students thrive when provided space for multisensory learning. Consistently teaching the classroom expectations with verbal reminders, visual supports, and practice opportunities can be essential in setting up students for success. Much like students will have letter and number strips for reference on their desk or table, it can be just as helpful to have classroom expectation reminders. Small visuals like voice level reminders, keeping hands to self, and how to be safe in the classroom can help students recall the steps for desirable behaviors. Here's an example of a kindergarten student who struggled with controlling the volume of her voice inside the classroom. A hand signal was developed with her teacher to help her to remember to lower her voice. The teacher made it a point to include her in creating the hand signal so she had more buy-in to remember to use it. When the student was using her outside voice in the classroom, the teacher would simply make a 1 with her hand and put it up to her neck. The student would make the signal back and would lower her voice. It wasn't long before the teacher saw the student doing this as a reminder to herself and other students when the voice levels got too loud. An enriched environment should also provide lots of opportunities for a student to access reinforcement. One way this can be presented is by using a token economy system. One that's been frequently found to be successful is to use a scratcher card reward. Each student gets a card with 10 spaces on it. Each time they're caught doing something good, or demonstrating a desired behavior, they get a star. When they fill up the 10 spaces with the stars, they get to scratch off the circle in the middle and reveal a prize. Because this is a system for positive reinforcement and building positive behaviors, stars are never taken away. The prizes include small trinkets, but also lunch with the teacher, extra recess, and game or coloring time with the teacher. An enriched environment can be a powerful tool in supporting whole groups and individual student needs. By providing an environment full of opportunity for safety, success, and positive reinforcement, undesirable behaviors can be decreased while encouraging and developing desirable behaviors.